guys, so I am 34 weeks and 1 day today, which means I am doing the vlog early and I'm so proud of myself for that. I just know I'm not going to do it tomorrow because Steve is going to be coming home from his trip and he's been gone for the last 9 days or something like that, so I'm going to be driving to get him. It's about an hour and a half each way, so 3 hours of driving, and then he's going to be here, and so I'm going to want to spend time with him, and I just know that that vlog is just not going to happen. So I thought I would do it today and get it done, especially since this week has been a little bit more eventful, and I kind of want to recount kind of where I am right now, because I'm not really sure, what's going on, but I'm sure something's going on. So I'm probably just, my body is probably just prepping itself for what's coming up. I've definitely had some symptoms this week, which I haven't had much of to share. So let's just start a few days ago on Friday. So I was at my friend's house and I was just sitting there. We were having dinner together and I had this really painful cramp all of a sudden down really low in my stomach and like under the bump basically, and I had to put my head down on the table and breathe and just get through it because it was really like just sudden and painful and sharp. And so she kind of freaked out a little bit, but it went away. So I told her, I'm fine, pains happen in pregnancy, that's just how it works, don't worry about it, and all that stuff. And so I kind of eased her mind, and then I went and I texted my mom because I figured that was a better person to, bounce this off of. So I said, I've had this cramp, is that bad? And at this point, I was still cramping. It was later at night. We were watching TV shows at her house still. I was sitting on the couch. I had my legs up, so it wasn't like a sharp cramping anymore, but it was noticeable. So I started feeling a little, not concerned because the baby was moving and I wasn't in bad pain, and I've had pains before, but I was just wondering what was happening. So I was texting my mom and she said, well, the baby could be dropping or engaging, or something along those lines. And we don't really know. Let's just wait and see. And so I stayed with my friend for a little bit longer, and then I was driving home. And at that point, I was also having a lot of Braxton Hicks, which I've had a lot of since like week 23 or something. So I am used to those, but there was a lot of them. Like I think I had them like, I don't know, 4 or 5 times every hour, which is kind of at that limit where maybe you should check with your doctor. But of course it was weekend and it was nighttime, and so I thought, well, it's not that big a deal, it's not labor contractions. And so yeah, I just haven't talked to a doctor. And so I was driving home and that was happening, and cramping was continuing, and in my head I'm just thinking, well, it's probably going to be gone in the morning when I wake up, because that's how it's been with other pains I've had. So I thought maybe I've overdone it. Maybe I've just did a little too much or stressed out a little too much, or maybe, Steve being gone makes me a little more on edge or something, and this is just my body's response to it. So I went home and I went to bed. And then at about 1 o'clock in the morning, I woke up because I had this shooting pain down at the same low down spot. And it was a few seconds, but it was really painful, and then it was over. And so there I was. It was like the middle of the night. And of course, I'm all by myself. So I was just looking on my phone of what it could be, because I didn't want to call anybody, because it was already over by the time I woke up, basically, because it was just that shooting pain. So I was looking it up, and I actually did find a lot of people that had similar experiences when their babies were engaging or dropping. So I'm still sort of thinking that might be it, but I don't know. So anyway, I went back to sleep after taking some time to Google things, and then I woke up again at like 3 or 4 with another shooting pain. And then I went to sleep again, and in the morning there was more shooting pains. And it happened in the shower. Like I had to sit down. It was because they're really painful when they happen. But then they're over and there's no pain. So it's so weird. Yeah, it went on all day, but not to a really bad level. It was like every once in a while. And then at night, like after dinner, it started picking up again, and it just got worse and worse and worse, like I guess the night before. But the night before, it wasn't as much a shooting pain. It was more like a cramping pain, but this time it was a shooting pain. And I was at my parents' house, and my mom was actually getting kind of like, we should call somebody, you know, because I was just laying there and in pain, and I was having a ton of Braxton Hicks again, and the shooting pains, and, you know, it probably shouldn't hurt that much. I don't know. I have no idea. I've never walked through this, and so I don't know what's happening. So, but I was like, no, let's not call, because all they can really do on a Saturday night is send me to the hospital, and I don't want to go to the hospital. I'm not in labor. I just have these pains. But again, the baby was active. All the other like warning signs they tell you about, like bleeding or you know, having a fever, or all these things that they say, you know, call your doctor if this happens. None of that was happening. So I thought if something changes as far as those other things are concerned, then yes, I'll go, but I'm not just gonna go because of these pains. Basically, the same cycle has been happening. Today is Sunday, so that was last night, and then I went to sleep. I had a reasonable night, but the pains have continued, and all day today they have continued. They are, again, not so bad right now. I'm curious to see how they'll be at night, but yeah, I'm sort of starting to wonder. I don't know if the baby dropped because I don't look any different as far as I can tell, or my parents, they couldn't see any different as far as how high up I'm carrying. So yeah, we really have no idea, but I'm going in on Thursday. I have a doctor's appointment, so I'll probably just wait and ask then. Unless it gets worse, then I'll just call. But fortunately, tomorrow it'll be Monday, and it'll just be a regular week. So I will be able to reach just my regular office, which I like better than going to labor and delivery. So that has been happening. And I really can't tell you any more about it except for that it's been happening, because I don't know what it is, but I'll find out by Thursday at the latest. So that's happening. And then I just wanted to tell you really quick the other things we've done this week. I have packed mostly the bags. I started that last week, and this week I think I'm getting sort of to the point where I have like a list of last minute items, but then everything else is kind of in these bags. So I'm happy about that. And then the other thing that we did this week was pick our pediatrician. We picked one from the online profiles that they had, but then we have to still meet with her this upcoming week. So we'll have a meeting with her on Wednesday and see if we like her the way that we think we will. So that is coming up, and that'll be good because apparently this office of pediatricians is connected to the hospital where I will be giving birth, and so they will be able to come in and actually see the baby right when she's born, which is nice. So I wanted to make sure that was all sorted out. So that's all as far as baby getting ready things. We're really reaching the end of the line as far as those things are concerned. So yeah, we're definitely in that home stretch. Just a few more weeks till this baby is term, and I'm really excited to meet her. So all right, that is all for week 34. I will update you all on what is happening with the pains next week. And I will see you then for week 35. All right, bye guys.